Stop. Let me go. I heard a woman's distressed voice just as I left the subway station gates, similar to those in New York. As I moved towards the sound, there was a woman being held by a man in a suit, visibly resisting. No, help. The woman was pulled forcefully, causing her to fall to the ground, bleeding from her knees and hands. What are you doing? I ran over to them, offering a hand to help the woman up. Don't you touch her. The man in the suit glared and forcefully pushed my left shoulder. The woman is injured, can't you see? This is assault. I'm calling the police now. The man, looking panicked, quickly got into a nearby car and fled. Later on, I was called into the boss's office. Let's cut to the chase. Starting next week, Tim, you'll be transferred to a regional office. What? Why? My daughter came home injured last week. I've received a report that you were responsible. Then, I'd rather be fired. I said, looking the boss straight in the eye. My name is Tim. I'm 32. I don't have a mother. My mother was frail and passed away giving birth to me, as my father told me. Despite his awkwardness, my father raised me on his own. By the time I was in upper elementary school, I could cook, do laundry, and clean, helping my dad focus on his work. Last year, my dad, who had worked hard to raise me, suffered a stroke at work and has been hospitalized since. After graduating high school, I gained experience in an IT company before landing my dream job at a major game company. I've been working in the planning department here for a year now. I've always wanted to write game scenarios. Getting a job in my desired industry was a moment of pure joy for me. But now, my days are filled with harassment from my superiors. This company is mostly comprised of college graduates, except for me. Being a high school graduate who joined midway, I seemed out of place here. Pretty bold for a high school grad to get into our company, huh? Laughable how the high school grad tried to submit a proposal, only to get it immediately rejected. Being a high school graduate was always brought up, and I continued to be looked down upon by those around me. One day, a project presentation meeting involving the president was scheduled for first thing in the morning, bringing a sense of tension to the entire planning department. Everyone was waiting in the meeting room until the president arrived. Must be nice for high school grad like Tim, not having to present a proposal. Not presenting in front of the president means your proposal didn't even pass within our department, huh? I wouldn't want to be that down and out. I was mocked by two colleagues who joined the company around the same time as me, and I couldn't respond. In fact, my proposals have never been accepted, even in department-only planning meetings. Am I the only one who thinks my ideas aren't that much worse compared to those two? I pretended to review the meeting materials, ignoring their snide remarks. Just a few minutes before the meeting started, the door opened, and in came the president accompanied by a man with sharp eyes, seemingly his secretary. The presentation meeting went smoothly without any hitches. Mr. President, it's almost time for our appointment with the client. I heard the man sitting next to the president, likely his secretary, say. The president nodded, let's proceed with this plan then. I want everyone to give their all to make it a big hit. And quickly left the meeting room. After the presentation meeting ended smoothly, a sigh of relief swept through the room. That night, after office hours had passed, most people had gone home, and only a few were left working overtime. Just as I was about to leave, I received a call from my father's hospital. They informed me that my father's condition was not very good. It wasn't urgent, but they wanted to discuss future directions and advised me to visit as soon as possible. The hospital where my father was staying is near my hometown, over a 3-hour drive from where I currently live. I reported to my boss that I had received a call from the hospital. And so, I needed to go to the hospital tomorrow and asked if I could somehow get permission to work remotely. Wanting to head to my father's hospital right after. My boss looked displeased but reluctantly gave his permission. Early the next morning, I boarded the bullet train. There was an online meeting from the morning, and I had to arrive at my hometown in time for it. Rubbing my sleepy eyes, I opened my laptop to get some work done so I could finish early today. The town where I grew up is full of nature, a countryside town with sprawling pastoral landscapes. Stepping off at the nearest station to my family home, the familiar scent of greenery brushed my nose. Stop. Let me go. Just as I was about to exit the ticket gate, I suddenly heard a woman's voice. What could be happening at such a rural station? I walked towards the source of the voice and found a woman in her mid-20s and a man in his early 30s. They were both in suits, appearing to be in some altercation. Please stop. I have already declined before. How can you do this when I'm asking you so earnestly? No, help. The man in the suit forcefully pulled the woman's arm, causing her to fall hard to the ground. Her pumps came off and rolled onto the asphalt. What are you doing? I couldn't help but shout as I ran towards them. Ha! Who are you? Can you not butt in? The man in the suit glared at me as he said that. I recognized his face. I felt like I had seen him somewhere before. But I couldn't recall immediately. I extended a hand to help the woman up who had fallen. Don't just touch her. The man swatted away my hand and pushed my left shoulder hard. I quickly regained my balance and braced myself. Growing up in the countryside, running through the mountains and fields from a young age had strengthened my core. The man seemed a bit intimidated by my unflinching stance. I supported the shoulder of the woman who had collapsed, asking her, "Are you okay?" as I gently helped her to stand. On closer inspection, blood was flowing from her knees and palms. The woman is injured, can't you see? This constitutes assault. I'm calling the police now. I told the man firmly. What? Ha! You have nothing to do with this. The man, looking flustered, tried to leave the scene. I grabbed the man's arm, determined not to let him escape. However, the woman, with tears in her eyes, said to me, "I'm okay now. The injuries aren't serious." But, seeing her on the verge of tears, I let go of the man's arm. The man got into a car parked nearby. The moment he got into the car, he glared at me with eyes that coiled like a snake's. Then, he drove off quickly. Those eyes, they seemed familiar. I traced back through my memories. I couldn't help but think she looked a lot like the secretary who sat next to the president during that planning meeting. Could such a coincidence really happen? Sorry. Thank you so much for your help. No, I didn't really do anything special. But, you're bleeding from your hand and knee. Are you alright? You should probably go to a hospital just in case. I'll be fine with this. Still, just to be safe, it might be better to go to a hospital. Do you know your way around here? If not, I'm from around here, so I can take you to a nearby hospital. No, it's too much trouble after you've already helped me. It's okay. I'll call a cab right now. I called a taxi and, somewhat forcefully, went with her to a nearby hospital in the taxi. After seeing the doctor, it turned out the woman only had minor bruises and received some simple treatment. Stepping outside the hospital, she turned back to me with her shoulder-length silky hair swaying, smiling, and said, "Thank you so much for today. You've been a great help." I apologize for the late introduction. My name is Sarah. May I ask your name? I'm Tim. If you don't mind, I'd like to thank you properly sometime. May I have your contact information? No, that's okay. I didn't really do much. But who knows what would have happened if you hadn't helped me. I really want to thank you, so if it's not too much trouble. After a moment of hesitation, I pulled out my business card from my backpack. Sarah took it, saying, "Thank you." And her eyes widened as she looked at my business card. And then, she stared intently at my face. Her big eyes were so cute, and my heart raced a bit. I'm currently working at this game company. The company itself is in Tokyo, but today I got special permission to work remotely due to some circumstances. I said, scratching my head. Do you like games? Sarah, who was shorter than me, leaned in with keen interest. Yes, I really love them. I've been into games since I was little. Games have evolved so much, the quality of today's games is just incredible compared to when I was young. I also like games and often play them on weekends. It's easy to get totally absorbed, isn't it? I was surprised to find out that Sarah liked games. She looked like the pretty type, seemingly far removed from anything to do with gaming, which made me feel a sense of closeness. I've always thought people who can come up with game scenarios are amazing. I hope to be able to write game scenarios myself someday. That's a wonderful dream. I'd love to play a game written by you, Tim. I'm rooting for you. In a burst of enthusiasm, I ended up sharing my dream, and suddenly felt embarrassed, quickly averting my eyes from Sarah. I was happy she supported my dream. But talking so freely about it to someone I had just met made me feel like I might have said too much. Suddenly, my smartphone in my pocket vibrated. When I took it out, it was from my boss. Yes, this is Tim. What the hell are you doing? You're already late for the meeting and you haven't entered the meeting room. I immediately checked my watch. My heart sank. With everything that happened this morning, I had completely forgotten it was an online meeting. I'm very sorry. I'll join right now. After getting a scolding from my boss, I hung up the phone. I'm sorry, I need to rush home. I'll have to leave now. Thank you so much for today. I'll be in touch. Don't mention it. Take care. I quickly said my goodbyes and hurried back to my parents' house. I joined the online meeting 30 minutes late. After the meeting ended, I was told to stay back alone and was lectured by my boss for being late. In the end, I got the usual, "This is why people without a college degree. You're fired, fired. I'll tell the president." Along with some sarcastic remarks, and all I could do was incessantly apologize for being late. Even after the lecture, my boss continued to nag me over chat, but somehow, I managed to get through the day's work. Then, I finished work almost on time to visit my dad in the hospital and clocked out. I closed my laptop and immediately headed to my dad's hospital. Upon arrival at the hospital, the doctor explained the future treatment plan for my dad. I panicked a bit with all the medical jargon, but the doctor explained everything in simple terms when I asked questions. For now, it was explained that hospitalization is necessary until his condition stabilizes and, if discharged, a support system would be needed. Given my current situation, it's going to be tough to support my dad immediately after he gets discharged, since I live far away. I returned to my childhood home, thinking about my dad, work, and everything in between. Today was really full of events. The moment I lay down on the tatami floor at my parents' house, my stomach growled loudly. I realized I had missed lunch. I spread out the boxed lunch I had bought on my way home this morning on the living room table. Maybe because of the scuffle with that guy, the contents of the boxed lunch were all jumbled up. I wondered if Sarah was okay after her injury. Suddenly, I remembered the events of this morning. I was curious about what kind of relationship Sarah had with that man. Considering it was our first meeting, I thought it might not be great to pry too much and ended up not asking about their relationship in the end. Trying to shake off this uneasy feeling, I shook my head from side to side, and then my phone rang. It was an unknown number. Hello. Is this Tim's phone? Yes, speaking. This is Sarah, you helped me earlier. Sarah. Oh, hello. How's your injury? Yes, thanks to you. Thank you for your concern. The reason I called is that I wanted to thank you for your help. How about we go out for a meal sometime? I saw the company address on your business card. And I often visit that area, so I was thinking maybe we could go for lunch if that's okay with you. Please, don't worry about it. But I'm really happy to hear that. How about next Monday at lunchtime? If that suits you. I'll be fine after 12 p.m. next Monday. Thank you. Then, I'll wait for you at the entrance of your company at 12 p.m. on Monday. Looking forward to it. After receiving a call from Sarah, I found myself unexpectedly excited. Just one call from Sarah turned the dreaded Monday morning into something to look forward to. The Monday after the weekend. I finished my work in the morning and stood up from my seat the moment it turned 12. Sarah said she would be waiting at the entrance of my company. Rushing down to the first floor, there she was, wearing a chic dress. Sorry to keep you waiting. Not at all. I just got here myself. Sarah said, narrowing her big eyes. We had lunch at a restaurant Sarah often goes to. It was a stylish and delicious Western-style restaurant near my office that I had never been to before. Sarah was excitedly talking about games throughout. The fun time flew by, and before we knew it, lunchtime had passed. Ah, it's already this late. Lunch break will be ending soon. It flew by, didn't it? I'll take care of the bill. No, let me. After all, I invited you today as a thank you, and it wouldn't be a thank you if you paid. How about you pay next time then? I had such a great time today, let me take care of it. Sarah, though hesitant, said, well, next time I'll definitely treat you. Having made plans for next time with Sarah, I was able to smoothly get through my work in the afternoon. The next morning, Tuesday. After the morning meeting ended and I returned to my desk, I was sharply tapped on the shoulder. Hey, the president said to come to him after the meeting. My supervisor told me. The president. Why me? I've only ever spoken to the president once during the final interview when I was hired. I had a bad feeling about this. I cautiously knocked on the president's office door. It's Tim. I heard you wanted to speak with me. Come in. I was honestly trembling. I had no idea why I had been summoned. Trying to appear calm, I stepped into the president's office. To get straight to the point, starting next week, Tim, you'll be transferred to a regional office. A transfer? Why? It seems you're dating my daughter. I've heard from other employees. Your daughter, sir. I'm sorry, but there might be some mistake. I'm not dating anyone at the moment, and I have no idea who you're referring to. What? You're not dating my daughter. Are you saying it was just for fun? No, I mean, I don't even know who your daughter is. I was terribly confused. Especially since I'm not actually dating anyone. I heard you were with my daughter at the entrance yesterday, and even went out for lunch together. I was certain that Sarah was the president's daughter. But Sarah and I are not in a relationship. My mind was in turmoil with the sudden demotion order from the president, and the fact that Sarah was the president's daughter. Last week, my daughter came home injured. I was told by someone that it was your doing. What? Why am I being accused of causing her injury when I was the one who helped her? Why? Who would spread such a lie? Then, there was a knock on the president's office door. The person who entered was the president's secretary, the very same person who had injured Sarah. Mr. President, did you call for me? Oh, Brown, you've come. The man who was with my daughter yesterday, as you reported, is this Tim, right? Yes, that's correct. Sarah said she just fell when she came home injured, but to think it was your fault. Unforgivable. You should be grateful you haven't been fired. And I will not allow you to come near Sarah ever again. I felt dizzy with such a fabrication against me. No, you're mistaken. Brown, the president's secretary, cut off my words. The trust one have. Working by the president's side for a long time as his secretary. And you, who have been here for just over a year, is different. Moreover, it seems you didn't attend college. Well, it's bold of someone who couldn't even go to college to make excuses to the president. Again. Once more, my educational background was brought up to belittle me. Are all the people in this company so discriminatory? The president glared at me, not seeming like he would listen to my side of the story. Then, being fired is fine by me. I said this clearly, looking directly into the president's eyes. Staying at this company, there's no chance of fulfilling my dreams. I'd rather be fired and be done with it. To volunteer for dismissal, well, fine. You're fired, effective today. The president said in a low voice. Then, the loud ring of my cell phone, along with its vibration, filled the president's office, coming from my pocket. Shoot. I forgot to switch it to silent mode. I reached to turn off my smartphone. Looking at the screen, it was a call from Sarah. Sarah. It seems I blurted that out loud. Sarah. Is that Sarah? Answer it. Promise me right now you won't see her again. The president said, fixing me with a sharp gaze. Reluctantly, I answered the call from Sarah. Hello, this is Tim. Hello. This is Sarah. You were at work, right? Sorry about that. I'm currently in the president's office. So, Sarah, you're the president's daughter. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to hide it. I was planning to tell you eventually. A lot has happened. I just got fired. Somehow, it turned out that I was supposedly dating you, and also supposedly responsible for injuring you. I couldn't find any more words to say. Just saying the fabricated content made me feel miserable. What? Why? Tim, could you please put the president on the phone right now? Please. I want to talk to the president, no, my father, right now. I relayed to the president that Sarah wanted to talk to him. The president took my smartphone. Is that you, Sarah? It's all right now. I've removed the root of all your troubles. Dad. What are you misunderstanding? Your secretary, Brown, is the one who injured me. He's been asking me out repeatedly. And I've turned him down every time. He said if I met him just once more, he would give up, and he came all the way to where I was on a business trip. Sarah explained the whole story to the president. It seemed like Brown could hear what Sarah was saying through the smartphone. I could see Brown's face growing darker by the second. Then, with his face turning red, the president glared at Brown. Did you hear that? It seems like you, Brown, are the one who's getting fired. No, that's not it, it's a misunderstanding. It was an accident. Sarah's injury was beyond my control. So, you're saying my daughter is lying? No, I didn't mean that. Brown said this, glaring at me with eyes as cunning as a snake's. Tim, it seems I jumped to conclusions earlier. My apologies. Forget about the firing. Eventually, all talks of my demotion or dismissal were as if they had never happened. Somehow, the rumor that I saved the president's daughter had spread within the company. Walking down the company halls, I started feeling a different kind of gaze than before. Is that Tim, the one who saved the president's daughter? I heard Tim was a high school graduate, but honestly, his proposal at the department meeting felt like the best one to me. Saving the president's daughter became a turning point, and suddenly, my work received much better recognition. Then, a proposal I had submitted was reconsidered by my boss. And I was asked to present it at a meeting with the president involved. The game proposal I presented at the meeting with the president was approved, and we moved forward with its release. Amidst this success, Sarah invited me out for a meal on a holiday. That's when I first learned that Sarah was the president of a subsidiary of the company I worked for. Hearing about my reputation at the company, Sarah said, I'd really like Tim to join us. Bringing up the idea of poaching me. I also shared about my father's hospitalization and that I was the only one who could care for him after his discharge. Which she took into consideration. Additionally, while my dad is hospitalized, I was told I could work remotely whenever I go to visit him. And after my dad is discharged, as part of the company's benefits, they would provide housing for both of us near the workplace. I couldn't hide my surprise at such generous treatment, but Sarah, no, President Sarah's gaze was serious. Though things were going well at my current company, I struggled with the decision but ultimately chose to work for President Sarah's company. Leaving my department amidst their reluctance, I resigned. Since joining the company President Sarah leads, we regularly go out for meals, just the two of us. Upon reflection, the idea of a regular employee and the president dining together so frequently might seem odd. But every time she asks, when can we meet again, just the two of us, it seems she thinks highly of me. Now, both my work and personal life are progressing smoothly, and I'm enjoying every day.